Thailand has a reputation for being a tolerant country, and Thai society seems to be very accepting and friendly towards sexual and gender diversity. According to research titled LGBT Friendly Thailand by Mahidol University, Plan International Thailand, and UNESCO Bangkok. However, more than half of a sample group of self-identified LGBT students reported having been bullied in the month prior to the survey being conducted.
I would say like I'm gender non-conforming.
One of those victims was Shane Butler. In his teens, he was bullied at an international school just because of his gender identity.
I think when a lot of my friends from abroad come in or like come to visit, they have this skewed idea of how friendly and how accepting Thai society actually is when it comes to LGBTIQ people. But when you've lived here 29 years and when you've grown up here, there's so much that people don't see. Like there's still, like trans people are still given really low paid jobs. You know, there's still this sense of discrimination in workplaces.
A scholar at Thammasat University suggests that acceptance depends on context and the situation. Basically speaking, the more formal the situation, the more difficult it gets.
So in some contexts, like if you're a hairdresser or a flower shop owner, if you're a trans woman, for example, it's perfectly fine. But if you want to be a general or a psychiatrist or a judge or the prime minister, things get much more difficult. And I think this is due to the expectations of certain kind of gender expression in these contexts. This, I think, explains why some situations seem to be very accepting and some are not.
Due to the expectation of gender expression in a very specific context, for instance, in the civil service, where all the officials wear uniforms and must abide by very specific regulations about how men and women are supposed to express themselves, sometimes discrimination stems from those expectations.
When you're not quite man or woman in the usual sense, then people start to experience problems and discrimination.
As far as social acceptance of LGBTQ+ community is concerned, Thailand is one of the best in ASEAN. The country has the potential to be one of the safest destinations in the world for LGBTQ+ tourists. So, why we are unable to treat our compatriot LGBTQ+ people the same as those visitors?
And I think that is a very, very important question, because we can actively say that we accept people who are visiting us who are LGBTIQ, but what happens to the people who are living in this country?
Perhaps one thing we should realize is the importance of unconditional acceptance, rather than only accepting people in certain situations.
If they behave themselves in a certain way. You know, the standards, the norms that society has are basically for cisgender, heterosexual men and women. And you can't really expect people who are not those things to behave in the same way in every situation. So if we can go beyond those expectations, especially for gendered expressions, I think that will help a lot.
Jirapha Bunyathat, reporting for Thai PBS World.